Hi, my name's Stephanie. Yeah, I'm a real girl. Not a kind of toy, as you may think. Well, I agree. I really look like a Barbie doll, the favorite doll of girls around the world. I see what you want to ask me. No, I wasn't born like this. This was my decision to experiment with my appearance, and I don't regret it. Besides, I had a very good reason to look like the perfect doll. Want to know what it was? Well, I was born in a well off family, and I was a very long awaited child. My dad and mom met when they were both about 30. Having a kid at this age was a real gift for them. I grew up like a princess. My parents did anything I wanted. I had a lot of toys, everything I could wish for. I had a beautiful pink bicycle, a new doll, a bear taller than me. Of course, my favorite toy was a huge Barbie house. Every girl from my class dreamed of having such a life. My parents were rich. We lived in a 3-story house with a lot of rooms, furniture, dishes, maids, and even stables, horses, and sports cars. I often dreamed I would live in the same house with my husband when I grew up. I even wanted to look like a Barbie doll, a chic tall blonde with a thin waist and long hair. Surprisingly, my dream almost came true. Since I was a kid, I had a lot of friends, boys and girls from school. I often had parties at home. There were a lot of people there, and it was noisy and fun. Sometimes it seemed to me my friends came to just play my cool game console or swim in my pool. But I paid little attention to this. But when I got older, I finally realized they were all fair weather friends. The girls were friends with me because I was in the school elite, the group of other rich kids. Sometimes we hung out together. So many girls wanted to get access to this community and maybe even find a rich boyfriend. In addition, my friends often asked me to lend them my branded wear. If I refused, they reproached me. Are you greedy or what? When we were in the cafe, they always hinted it would be nice for me to pay for everyone because I'm rich. The guys who wanted to date me were interested only in my parents' money. They asked me some stupid questions like what kind of car my parents would give me for my 18th birthday, or whether I needed some company if I suddenly decided to go abroad on vacation. Morons. I started dating some guy just out of curiosity, but I quickly realized this was not what I wanted. I was a pretty girl in good shape, and proper care and elite beauty salons made me look almost perfect. But as it turned out, not for everyone. I've liked Mark since high school. He was a popular boy, a crush, a star. All the teachers praised him because he was so smart. He even had a fan club. A lot of girls from school were in love with him, and I was no exception. However, he came from an ordinary family, but that's not important because he was the school basketball team captain, and he also played drums in the school rock band. He was so awesome. Like many girls, I went to all his games and concerts. I thought he would notice my interest and ask me out. Well, I also tried to take the first step, but he ignored me as if on purpose. But the guys from his team saw me and almost lined up to ask me out. Once I had a big pajama party for girls at home. I bought everyone the same funny pajamas. I filled the room with sweets and invented some entertainment. We had a great time. And in the evening, as it usually happens, we started talking about boys. Some of my friends already had boyfriends, so they started questioning me why I was still single. I don't know who was pulling my tongue, but I honestly admitted I've always liked Mark. It's just my pride didn't allow me to ask him out first, and he didn't notice me at all. One of my friends said she was a friend of Mark's sister, and she would try to find out something. I don't know what she did, but the very next day, I found a note in my locker from Mark asking me to meet him in the school backyard tomorrow. I was so happy. He finally made the first move. Not knowing what to expect, I dressed beautifully, as if it was a real date. I even went to the salon to do my hair and light makeup. I really wanted to impress Mark and win him over at first sight, but it turned out that he was the one who impressed me. Or rather, I was very surprised by his words. Mark admitted he'd noticed for a long time that I liked him. He saw me at all the games and concerts in the front rows, and he wouldn't mind dating me, but I was not his type at all. Mark even listed what he didn't like about me. My waist wasn't narrow enough. My lips weren't pouty enough. My eyes were small. My nose was slightly hooked, and I was a little tall. He said all this to me without even thinking he might offend me. I almost cried when Mark said, grinning, he was ready to be my boyfriend if I decided to experiment with my appearance. For example, increase my lips. After saying this, he just left, leaving me alone. I cried in my room the whole evening. In the morning, I asked my mom to take me to the clinic where she usually got her procedures because I wanted to have lip injections. My mom was surprised, of course. She tried to convince me I was beautiful and I didn't need to change anything about my appearance. But I didn't even want to listen to her because Mark's words that I wasn't beautiful enough to date him kept playing in my head. So I somehow convinced my mom. The procedure itself didn't take long. When the bruises were gone, I went back to school. I won't say the changes in my appearance were kind of striking, but they definitely attracted some attention. My friends bombarded me with compliments, and the guys kept sticking to me, but I only cared about one person's opinion. After school, I caught Mark on his way to basketball training, and I told him I had fulfilled his conditions, so I wanted him to take me on a first date. But Mark immediately interrupted me, saying I was doing great, but it still wasn't enough. After all, he can't imagine kissing me because my long nose will ruin everything. Honestly, I never thought something was wrong with my nose. But after Mark's words, I looked at myself in the mirror and almost started crying, thinking I looked like a witch with such a nose. What a fool I've been. Without thinking twice, I told my parents I needed surgery on my nose. Remember when I said they couldn't refuse me anything? This was no exception. Even though my dad and mom had already convinced me my nose was perfect, we still went to the clinic. The nose surgery was more difficult. I spent almost a week in the hospital, and it took more than a month to recover. I did everything I could to make the bruises and swelling disappear as soon as possible. I was happy with the result. I looked in the mirror smiling, and I already started dreaming next summer I would persuade my parents to send me and Mark on vacation to the Maldives, just the two of us. Many people were intrigued by my long absence from school, but when I returned, it immediately became clear where I'd been. My nose changed my face a lot. So now I look different. It wasn't difficult to find Mark. He was in the gym training. When he saw me, he was very surprised. He admitted he didn't think I would go through with it. He examined me carefully and said I was getting closer to his perfect girl, but something was still missing. I was angry and asked him straight what kind of perfect girl he wanted. He replied, laughing, he always liked a Barbie doll. And if I wanted to be like her, I just needed to grow my hair, change it to blonde, and lose some weight. In 3 months, Mark was throwing a big birthday party. So he said if I succeeded, he would announce to everyone we were dating. The desire to become his girlfriend blinded me so much that I decided to fulfill his conditions. I had hair extensions put in the beauty salon. Then they dyed my hair platinum blonde. I started wearing blue lenses and false eyelashes that easily made my eyes doll-like. The most difficult thing was the waist. But I found a great tight corset which pulled so hard that it could easily be wrapped just in my hands. Moreover, I went on a diet. I decided my appearance at Mark's party should be as spectacular as possible because I really wanted to impress him. I ordered a huge, human-sized gift box, put on a pink outfit, typical for any Barbie doll, and climbed inside the box. I was delivered to Mark's party as a huge gift. When he opened the package, he saw a living Barbie doll inside. Of course, he was impressed by my appearance. He was just delighted and immediately announced we were dating. It's been 6 months since his birthday party. Mark is my boyfriend. In a couple of weeks, we're going on vacation to the islands, but I can't help feeling I'm, well, not me. And I think Mark is dating me just because I look like a plastic doll trying to please him. Do you think I did the right thing by changing my appearance to date the guy I'm in love with? Or should I have refused Mark's conditions at once? Text your answers in the comments below. If you liked my story, click thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. There are many interesting stories ahead. Bye, everyone!